friends. Today's topic of discourse is the cosmic form of the divine. Those of you who have read the Gita know that in chapter 11, Sri Krishna reveals his cosmic form. In fact, today's talk is based on that. So we know God is thought of differently by different aspirants. Some say, and is how the God is and where the God is. That is the thought for many persons. For Vedanta, we know, as a student of Vedanta, for us God is immanent in this universe and also beyond this universe. So there is a small joke that one in a primary school, the teacher was asking her pupils where God lives. So some students said, according to their religious background and they heard from their parents, some said God lives above the clouds in heaven. Others said, no, God lives in the temple. Some others said, no, God lives in the heart of every human being. Some others said, no, God lives everywhere, everywhere. When a small boy rose and said, God lives in washroom, in our washroom. So teacher was surprised how this boy, what background it is saying. God lives in his washroom? Say, what do you mean by that? Yes, because in the morning, after my father just paced up and down in front of the washroom, and he said, oh God, you are still there. The door is closed from inside, washroom door. And they said, oh God, you are still there. So I'm sure God is there, otherwise why would my father will say? So we know that God is immanent. And where is God's manifestation? God is present everywhere. But Sri Ramakrishna said, someone asked, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar asked Sri Ramakrishna, has God given some person more power, greater power, and others less power? So Sri Ramakrishna said, you are such an intelligent and wise person, erudite person, you ask such questions? Of course, God has given different powers to different persons. The God is equally present everywhere, but its manifestations are different. It reveals its power in a different way. So some are, that's other why I came to see you. You have greater manifestation of power in your erudition, in your scholarship, in your compassion, in your sacrifice, self-sacrifice. God reveals more through you. So I have come to see you. We have come to see you. Why didn't I go to see another person? Because God has manifested more through you. God has given more power to you. So Sri Ramakrishna was very clear. Sri Krishna also says to Arjuna, whom he was teaching about the divinity, about the purpose of life, about the duties of life, about what he should do and what he should not do. When he was perplexed in the battle, what was my duty, what should I do? He was just lost. That time Sri Krishna was guiding him and said, you see, Arjuna, I as the Supreme Divine is present everywhere, but I am manifested in some where there is more glory and greatness. And he gives example that this glorious thing, know that to be myself. Like that. The moon which is the brightest at night and looks so beautiful, I am in the planets, I am the moon. So because among the planets it's the most glorious for our eyes. And among the water reservoirs where water is collected, a pond, a lake, He said, among the water reservoirs I am the ocean, the biggest, most glorious among the water reservoirs. Wherever there is the glory, there am I. That is my glory. Among the mountains, he said, I am the Himalayas. It was not known that Mount Everest of the Himalayas is the highest mountain in the world. But Sri Krishna that time itself declared, among the mountains, I am the glorious Mount Himalayas, where now Mount Everest is there. Among the trees, also he said, my manifestation is everywhere in everything. Among the trees, the biggest tree of that time in India, whatever is there, he said, among the trees I am Ashwatha. Ashwatha has very religious and philosophical significance, its very name, Ashwatha. But there are bigger trees like Bata, which is called Ficus bengalensis, and Ashwatha is called Ficus religiosa. So that ficus tree is Ashwatha, very name says, which doesn't last for tomorrow. Ashwatha, which is not last, will be ever changing, which is the nature of samsara. Oh, samsara is revealed in the tree, and the name is Ashwatha. Though it's very endures long time, but still compared to eternity, it is insignificant. And Sri Krishna, when he describes 15th chapter, he said, this samsara is like a Ashwatha tree, upside down. Roots are up, the branches are down. The roots are rooted in God, in eternity. The branches which consist of the manifestation are spreading downwards. He compared, there also Ashwatha tree. Then he said, among the sages, I am Narada, the most famous, who travels all over the world, all over the three worlds, the heaven, this world and the nether world. I am that Narada who always on run and doing good to the people. Among the animals, I am the lion, the most powerful land animal. Among the wielders of weapons, he didn't say I am you, but he said I am Rama. Of the history, Rama as a human being, he was the most powerful archer. But during Arjuna's time, Arjuna was the most powerful. He said, among the Pandavas, you are me. You are the most glorious. Pandavanam Dhananjaya. But among the archers, there have been greater than you, and it is Rama, and I am that Rama. You see, he doesn't say only about the glorious and best things. He says about the evil things also. Among the evil also, the greatest and glorious evil thing I am. Like he said, among the fraudulent, that also Sri Krishna describes. There are also manifestation of God is there. Wherever there is greatest among the fraudulence, he says, I am the gambling. There is a lot of frauds done in the gambling. And among all fraudulent things, I am the gambling, he said. You see, in there also, God is there. Holy Mother said, I am the mother, mother of all, mother of good, as well as mother of wicked. Sotero ma, asotero ma. Mother of evil, I am that. No one is separate or cannot receive my love. So I am mother for all. Like that, Sri Krishna described, I am everywhere. And he said, among the things secret, hidden, not expressed. That also he said, what is that? I am the silence. Silence is the most secret. You see, if you don't talk, how will people know? If you make things, people may find out. But if you don't talk at all, so that is the best of secrecy. And that I am. Secrecy, I am among the secrecy, I am the silence. So after revealing himself in all glorious things, whether positive and good, or on the other side, everywhere there is glory, that is I am. So that is the I am is that there is my greater manifestation. After hearing this, Arjuna was heard from Sri Krishna. Now he had a wish. You said so many things, you are immanent, you are present everywhere, and all the glorious things are you, all the greatest things manifested are you. But Lord, I have a wish. I want to see your real form. Drashtum ichchami te rupam aishwaram. I wish to see your divine form. And He just says, please show me. He doesn't say that. He said very politely, if you think I am fit for this, please show me your eternal self. Abhayam Atma. That's what Arjuna says. I want to see you in reality, you in totality. What totally you are. There, Sri Krishna now is very pleased with Arjuna. He is guiding him for performing the duty, and through him he is guiding us, whole humanity for future. He is going to give the teaching of the Gita. So he says, I will show that to you. Pashyame Partha Shatashota Sahasrasa. Behold my form in hundreds and in thousands of different kinds. Now he is coming to that. That is the cosmic form he is showing. See now in my body, O Arjuna, the entire universe and whatever else you would like to see. Whatever a devotee wants to see in God, he finds that. He says, I am this, but it depends on what is your idea about me, what you want to see in me. That's why different vision of God by the different aspirants and different wishes to have the God as their own. Some like God to be very glorious, powerful, protective, granting boons, answering prayers. Some like God to be a very friendly person. I want God to be my friend, so I don't want anything more from you. And still more person like, still when you develop love, I want God as a baby. Nothing, no glory, all glory is lost, all power, I don't want any power, any protection. I just want to love you. Just I want to give my love to you. Nothing I seek from you. That's how the different kind of people, aspirant, wants God in different way. So Sri Krishna here says, see me in thousands, hundreds of thousands of kinds, and also whatever else you want to see. But he says, Arjuna, you are not yet ready, you are not yet fit to see the things. That's why they say, whatever Arjuna was very pure, but whatever sadhana aspirant can do, this has limitation. They cannot see God unless there is the grace of God. That is the philosophy in bhakti. And Sri Krishna here says, Divyam dadami te chakshu. I am very pleased to you and I am going to show you. But with these your human eyes, you cannot see. I have to give you special power of perception to understand and to be able to withstand my real form. Not only understand, to withstand. It is so terrible and fearful. Arjuna doesn't know this. Arjuna will think that it will be all blissful. God in totality, in cosmic form, is terrible. When Arjuna says, we'll come to that. Arjuna says there, I grant you, Sri Krishna said, I grant you extraordinary perception. Why? You cannot see my divine yoga. That's what the term comes here, divine yoga. He said Abhaya yoga. He doesn't say Daivi yoga, he says. He doesn't say Daivi rupa. He said, with this ordinary eye of yours, O Arjuna. So, Sri Krishna grants. Now the description of this cosmic form of God is not given by Arjuna. It is given by Sanjaya. Sanjaya was seeing all these things and he was reporting to the king far away in another place, and he was seeing everything and reporting to the blind king who was curious to know what their sons and cousins were doing in the battlefield. His son, Dhritarashtra's son, the Kauravas, and his cousins, the Pandavas, his nephews, the Pandavas, they were fighting. They were in battle. And there was Sanjaya who was revealing, he saw everything. And they say, Sanjaya says, Vyasa gave me, Sri Krishna gave the divine sight to Arjuna, and Vyasa gave me the divine sight to see all the things that were happening here, there. And he also could see the cosmic form. And then this cosmic form, this Sanjaya relates what Arjuna is saying, what he is seeing, what is his condition in the battlefield, seeing the cosmic form. First, what did he see in the cosmic form of divine? He says, Aneka Vatranayanam, Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, Aneka Divyabharanam, Divyaneko Dyatayudam. Oh Lord, what I see when Sri Krishna revealed himself in the cosmic form. First Arjuna says, having many faces, Many faces God has. Can you imagine how this is difficult to see one being having many faces all around? Because it is cosmic. Every face is God's face. He is not seeing that way, individuals separated by this space. All these individual faces come together, united, and revealing itself as one being. See the terribility of this. Having many faces, many eyes all over. Huge, wonderful sight. He was first wonderful sight. And it is decorated with celestial ornaments. It's not ordinary. It's celestial ornament that I have not seen in the world. That I can see is decorated. You are decorated with that. And he can not only see, he can also smell. It's so close and perceptible thing. He says, and it is with many scents. Divya and Dham, there are many scents. And you are wielding many heavenly weapons. Divya no neko dyata yudham. Many weapons are there in your hands. You have in numerous hands, numerous faces, numerous eyes, and in the hands you are holding many weapons. And not only the terrible these things, you have Divya Malyam Varadharam. The garland that you are wearing is divine. I have not seen that in the world. It's something most exquisite. Many garlands. It's not only one garland he is wearing, because it's so vast. He is wearing many garlands. And your dress, that is also Divyam. Apparel, Divya Ambaram, and Divya Gandhan. And you have put so beautiful smell I am getting. So there was no incense to burn there. The God reveals, he sees the wonderful, awestruck beauty, the glory, and also can smell the scent that we never he had found there. Sarvascharya, how wonderful, very surprising. And everyone, that people that are seeing you are all very surprised. Anantam, it's infinite. I cannot measure your size, it's so big. Vishwato Mukham, and your face is everywhere. Wherever I look, it's all your face. Then what is the situation there after seeing that? How is the sight? So, Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yuga Paduttita Yadi Bhas Sadrisi Sasya Asastasya Mahatmana. Oh Lord, you are so bright. If thousands sun are to rise at the same time, how much light it will be? Thousands suns. So much bright have become because of your revelation of your cosmic form. You are so bright. How will you see when thousand sun rise? If one sun is so bright, you drive and sun comes to your eyes, how difficult it is to drive another. So two sun, what will happen? And thousand sun, that was the brilliance there. One of the scientists, when they were testing the nuclear atom bomb, a German scientist, he had recited this. When he saw the nuclear power exploded, then he also didn't know how this light will be. And when he saw bright light coming, tremendous energy being exploded, and he recited this verse of the Gita. It is as if the thousand suns have come together in this firmament. Like that he had recited from the Gita. This very verse. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yuga Paduttita. Like the radiance of 1,000 suns. Arjuna saw diversely differentiated universe in one cosmic form. Like I see, whole universe is made of God. God is our efficient cause and material cause. To create something, two things are needed when something is created. One is called material cause, one is efficient cause. Material cause is the material out of which the thing is made. An efficient cause is the person, designer who makes that. For example, a pot, clay pot is made. So what is material cause and efficient cause? Material cause is the clay out of which the pot is made. And what is the efficient cause? What makes that pot? That is the potter who shapes the pot out of the clay. So these two things are needed for anything. So for the human being to be created, there has to be material cause and the efficient cause. What is the material cause? Material cause and efficient cause. Finally, ultimately, it is all God. You may divide into material cause as a Panchatanmatra, but all this together, whole universe is nothing God. In Purusha Suktam it is said that it is from God this whole universe has emerged. And who made this universe? Who created? God created. And out of what God created? Out of Himself God created. So God is the material and efficient cause of this universe, including everything, including us. Now if this whole universe is created out of God, so there is nothing but God in the universe. So it is like Sri Ramakrishna also describes in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. It's like a city made of wax, whole model, big model, where there are houses, there are the rivers, there are the trees, there are the human beings, there are animals, all made of wax. What is the material? Only wax. They are all separated. What Swami Kripamayananda describes while describing this cosmic form, this of God, cosmic divine form of God. 11th chapter, he says that it's like different dolls, different animals made of wax. They are separate in space. Now, what will happen if all those are mixed together? They are all brought together. Space is eliminated. One was there, dog, cat, human being. Now you all bring together and mix at one place. Then the space is gone. Now whole this wax becomes one, but still you see different faces. It's now one being. From different beings it's one being. That's what the cosmic form. From different beings it's one being, but comprising a whole world. All human beings. Not only human beings, all gods, all angels. Everything is contained in that divine form. That's what Sri Krishna said, Arjuna is saying. And he said, I see diversely differentiated universe in one cosmic form. Anekadha prabhivaktam kristam jagat devasya sharire pandava. Apashyat. Pandava saw in one body diversely and differentiated forms. That is the form of God. That is the cosmic form of the divine. Now, Arjuna was Tata Vishmaya Vishta Dhananjaya Devam Shirasha Pranamya Kritanjali Avasata. Then, surprised, wonder-struck, Arjuna now bows down to this. There is no way. You feel you're small, like an ant. Here you see in front a huge divine manifestation. And then bows down with head, Shirasha Pranamya. And then folds his hand. Automatically happens. He doesn't have to think. So glorious thing present in front of you. As Swami Sri Ramakrishna explained in the Gita. So one person wants to go to meet a king. And king is sitting behind 7 doors. And every door there is one room. So person goes and first he finds someone sitting with a good apparel and asks the guide, so is he the king? So he says, no, he's not the king, let's go inside. So inside goes another officer, still glorious, more glorious, dress, these ornaments and all the things. Is he the king? He says, no, let's go inside. So after going 6 doors like that, 6 halls like that, passing through that, when he reaches the 7th place, where king is really sitting there, he doesn't ask, is he the king? Because he doesn't have to ask. King is so much glorious that there is no doubt that this one is the king. It's so different from his officers sitting outside on the 6 other rooms. So he doesn't have to ask. And in that glory, what he will do? He will show his respect to the king without being any doubt that this person is the king. So like that is God. Now Arjuna has seen God in the cosmic form. Now he bows down to him automatically, then salutes him with folded hands, and then says, Lord, O Lord, I see in your body all gods, Brahma, heavenly sages and serpents. I don't know why serpents is so important. That describes in the very first verse. It talks with the God, the Sri Krishna in the cosmic form. And it says, I see Brahma, the originator father is in you. That is also part of you. And I saw many sages. I saw many gods, heavenly sages and many gods and many serpents. And Aneka Bahu Udara Patra Netram. And I see many numerous arms. You have numerous arms, aneka, uncounted, and many bellies. Can you imagine what he sees? Many bellies. Tummy is there. And there are many eyes all over. So huge. Numerous eyes. Pashyami tvam sarvata anantarupam. And I see you everywhere. You are spread everywhere. You are feeling everything. And you have innumerable forms. Anantarupam. You are comprised of so many forms because everything in the creation is there. Animals, insects, plants, stones, rivers, and devas, and human beings. Everything is at one place, and that is God. Sri Krishna is revealing, I am everything. What you treat as separate human being and animal and dog, all I am I. First he said about the glory where I am manifested, that's just the manifested. Now he says, not only manifested, I comprise everything. That's what he said. Then Arjuna was so awestruck, he said, you are immutable, you are the one to be known, you are the ultimate goal of the humankind, you are imperishable, eternal, you are the one who gives the knowledge of eternal religion. I feel that you pervade the space between earth and heaven and all directions. It's so huge. You are so great in the glory. And then he finds actions. Only he saw this, then he finds action. And if I find, O Lord, gods enter into you, struck with fear, gods are afraid to you. In Upanishad it is said, in Kathopanishad, that out of fear of Brahma, everything moves and is regulated and is in order. And what says? The whole world moves out of fear. The whole this creation works out of fear. Even the death does its duty out of fear. Mrityur dhavata panchama. It's the fifth thing that does its duty out of fear. Fear of what? Fear in the sense is described that it is the regulation that is organized, that is planned by the divine that runs this whole creation. Why doesn't the creation just end? Because there is the order created by God. And that order is described as fear. Here also Arjuna says, even gods are terribly stricken with fear and gods enter into you and struck with fear. And some are so afraid they extol you with folded hands. And what else is there? Rudras, Adityas, Marut, Gandharva, Yaksha, Asura, all gazing to you. You are so vast and everyone is awestruck. Arjuna says all this. This was a wonderful form. And then he said, seeing your immense form with many mouths, arms, thighs and feet, many bellies, and fearful with many teeth. Can you imagine how God can be terrible? You see this form. Creatures are struck with terror, and so am I. He can see the people, some people also who are seeing this, and he finds that everyone is afraid, fearful, not happy. By seeing God, they are not happy, because it is difficult to comprehend this universal form. We want to see God as an object of our love. That's why there comes the concept of Easter. What I want to see God as. That's what Sri Krishna had said to Arjuna. You will see me in all forms and whatever else you want to see. So he sees the cosmic form of the divine. And he says, as moths enter into a blazing fire, creatures enter into your mouth. The creatures are going, the fire is coming out of his mouth, and then he sees all the person who are gathered in the battle, from the Kaurava side, his enemy side, and also from his own side, many just entering into his mouth. Lord's huge mouth. And then, in the mouth, the fire coming, big teeth, and he says this, I see you are crushing the head of the people. And I can find their head sticking in between the teeth gap of the teeth. How clear and perception you can imagine that the Arjuna had, and he was the bravest person of his time. But such a vision, he was also afraid, very fearful, and finally says, I have seen O Rishikesha, I have seen Adrishta Purvam. I have never seen this thing. They say this Vishwarupa Darshana. this cosmic form of the divine, no one else had seen before Arjuna. The Arjuna was the first to see this. And this is not the craving one also, why the people would like to see such a terrible form of God. And he said, Adrishta Purvam, nobody had seen. I had never imagined that God can be so huge and great. But bhayena cha prabhyathitam, I feel pain out of fear. I'm afraid, scared, terribly scared. Please have mercy on me. Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam prasida devesa. Be pleased with me, O Lord, O Devesha, O Jagat Nivasa, O the sustainer of the whole universe, O source of the whole universe. Please be pleased with me. And Tadeva me darshaya deva. Please show me your that form with which I am familiar, my friend Krishna or the Narayana, whom I love, the four-armed Narayana. I want to see that form. That's what the cosmic form, in just a perceptible form, Arjuna saw. But people can see the whole universe as God. When you transcend seeing God in smaller things, God manifested, like as was said in the 10th chapter, that God is manifested in this great thing, this ocean, this, that, I am. And we see God in the statues, in the symbols, in the images, but that is trying to see that infinite God into smaller things we want to make. But there are people who want to see God as the cosmos. Whole creation, whole universe is God. They may not see that form, terrible form of the God, but they, with their imagination, they feel this whole universe is God manifested. It is perceptible. And that feeling comes to the sadhakas. Sri Ramakrishna, who had gone to pluck flowers to offer at the Mother Kali's feet when he advanced the stage of his sadhana. And the flower was there in a bush. When he went there, suddenly it flashed that this bush is not just the flower, just the plant. It is like a bouquet of flowers arranged in the worship of cosmos, divine, the cosmic form of the divine. And he couldn't do that. After that said, my worshipping God in the symbol or the statue was over after that. I feel God is great and infinite and everything in the world is arranged in such a way as if they are worshipping God. The whole universe becomes the temple manifestation of God. You don't have to see God in a temple or a human being or a symbol. The whole universe becomes God. That is the cosmic form of divine. Guru Nanak also, so whole universe is God. And when whole this universe is God, how is being he worshipped? We worship God in this statue or image with doing arati, waving lamps. He says, it is being waved, this moon and sun. Arati kare chandra tapana. This sun and moon are the things that are being waved in front of you by the cosmic. This whole air that is blowing, it is like the chamara, they are giving you the air. You don't have to do whole this thing, the natural thing that we see in the world, are in fact a worship, continuous worship going on to you. Where I seek to do worship to you. You are whole universe form. That is the cosmic form of God. The whole universe becomes divine. And everything that we see in this universe becomes a part of that divine manifestation. So nothing becomes separate from that cosmic reality, divine cosmic form. Everything becomes like the whole this, we are like this. If this whole cosmos is the body of God, Virat, they say, body of God, then what we are like small cells. Perhaps red cells, perhaps white cells, perhaps small cells. This whole individual comprises the cell, and this Virat comprises the body of God. This is one way of looking at God. That whole cosmos is divine, and everything here in this universe, that whatever happened, the flower blooms. It is like they are worshipping God. You don't have to pluck flowers and put on the altar. This thing is already worshipping. The divine, the cosmic divine being is being worshipped by the flowers, by the river that flows, by the falls that go. For them, they don't have to collect the water from some place and bring to Shiva to pour down. All these falls falling down, where are they going? They are pouring to the Shiva. That this cosmic Shiva fall. Niagara Falls, whole water falling, as if it's being put on the Shiva ling, on the image of Shiva. Shiva being worshipped. Everything that happens in the world, for a person who can perceive the cosmic divine form, for him everything is seen like the worship of the divinity. So Sri Ramakrishna had that. Swami Vivekananda once was describing about the immanence of Brahman. Where is Brahman? How to find? And he was teaching some students of Brahmacharya in Belur Math. Swami Brahmanandaji was going to worship with some plates of flower. And he said, can't you perceive Brahman, that all-pervading reality? He is not separate from anything in the world. He is everywhere. Everything that we see is He, that Brahman. Can't you see? He is here. And everybody felt that what they are looking is God. Nothing but one, that reality is there, that cosmic form of divine. It lasted for a few minutes. All were just they were unmoving. So when Brahmananda was going with that, he heard this, he was just ecstatic, stood still there with the plate in his hand. And after a few minutes, this spell went, and they could realize that they came to this form of the manifested form. But this form of divine is like, that's why this divine form, the devotee is not satisfied with just a cosmic form of God, which is terrible, which all become. So they want to make God in a smaller, more tangible, as Arjuna said. I want to see you, Lord, in that form. Tadeva me rupam darshaya. Show me that form. I wish to see that form. Now Arjuna has been convinced that Sri Krishna is God himself. Otherwise, he's a very strong person, a strong-minded person. Why will he listen to Sri Krishna as friend saying, you fight, this is your duty. What do you mean by not fighting? Even Atma is immortal, as Atma will not kill anyone. And if find this being dead, everyone is dead. Arjuna will not listen. He has to find that who is saying this. To convince Arjuna that who is saying this, that you have to fight, perform your duty. Sri Krishna had to reveal his cosmic form. Of course, Arjuna himself wanted to see. Let me see, Lord, who you really are. Then he sees this and then gets wondrous struck, there is no doubt. Still, after showing this, Sri Krishna gives the tips how you should live in the world, how you should perform karma yoga, bhakti yoga. After that comes the bhakti yoga, how you should have the devotion to God and all that. What should be your internal qualities. How should you speak? How should you walk? All this thing comes later on after that. And at the end, when Gita ends, Sri Krishna says, now I have told you everything. Now you are free to choose. Will you listen me, what I told you? Or you do whatever you like. Sri Krishna doesn't say, you have to follow this. But he said, now do your own choice. I have told you, you have to choose what you want to do. Then Arjuna says, I will do whatever you said, O Lord. He has seen this thing, cosmic form of God, so infinite, incomprehensible. That thing was very awe-striking. But seeing God in this form may be terrible for us. We need God in such a way so that we can really love and relate. And what is the best form of God to relate? It is the human form. Swami Vivekananda says, when we are human beings, we have to worship God as human beings. There is no other way. Those in many religions, they don't want to worship God as a human being, but they will repose all human qualities in God. He is very kind, compassionate, just, and He takes our care. Like that, all human qualities are reposed, good human qualities are reposed in God. Only qualities form in ourselves. But how can the qualities stay without forms? And for human being, it has to be a human being. Swami Vivekananda said, explaining this, if cow was to worship God, cow had to worship God in a powerful, big, huge cow. That would be God for cow. So whatever is one form, God has to be seen in that form. So that is there comes the concept of Easter. I want God in this form, like baby Krishna, like Jesus, like Sri Ramakrishna, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whatever is there, I want God in this form. That is most beloved. That's so kind. I want to see, oh Lord, I want to see you in the form of Sri Ramakrishna. I want to hear you, what you told as Sri Ramakrishna. For me, that is final. That is most fulfilling. I don't need anything else. The devotee will say that way. So from cosmic divine form to individualized human form, getting close to God and ultimately reaching to that immanent, infinite Satchidananda. That is the goal of sadhana.